Hello, I'm happy to be back. And yeah, this is last week I couldn't, I was so busy with other things, but I'm back here this time. And I have a few questions that I would like to comment. Uh, Alexander, he asks me, that's something I'm asked many times, how do I come up with the names for the compositions? Well, this music starts with improvisation. I'm just playing until something comes or not, but hopefully something comes, and then I invite my friends to take part, either rehearsing at my studio here or go to the studio to record and to develop the song further. And then when it's mastered, we are just listening to the music. I listen hundreds of times until something, yeah, pops up, like the music itself. It's suddenly it's here, and then I know this is going to be the title of the song. And I love um, slightly, mildly confusing titles because it triggers the imagination, and I think that's what this music is all about. And he also asks Alexander, who sings on The Holy and the Ivy, The Holy and the Ivy on the Midnight Clear album. That was my voice. And I played with the simultaneously, unison with an accordion. That's the song, The Holy and the Ivy on Midnight Clear. Let me see yeah, he's asking me about other harpists, whether I'm in contact or collaborating with other harpists. Um, but the harp is such a complete instrument. It's like a whole orchestra. You have the bass, the lowest notes on the bass, and then you can go up, way up to the highest notes. Then the melodies that I play are within the chords. They're kind of interwoven into the chords. And so if there's another harp, this is going to be total string overflow. So this is not an ideal combination, I think. I'd rather have all the other sound colors to match that, and the sound of the harp. And I think the harp is so, it has such a unique sound, especially mine, I must say. Um, we've worked so much on that sound for the sound to be like an whole orchestra. So yeah, that's how I see it. Well, there is Teresa, and she says that this music in general makes her happy, but not only that. She says it's balm for my soul. She says, since she suffers from autism and other mental issues. I must say this is a very touching comment, um, and thank you for sharing, Teresa. The answer needs a bit more space, though. As I have already addressed in one of the previous live streams, and I'm repeating this over and over again, I'm tirelessly repeating this, music is much more than what most people know and understand. We mostly are aware of the beautiful, entertaining aspect, the decoration, the surface, but it actually is quite tragic that we know so little about this secret potential that music has. The question is it difficult to access these deeper layers that music has to offer? No, and that is shocking. It's shockingly easy. We only have to find a quiet place and close our eyes and immerse ourselves in the experience. Let ourselves drown in the music. Put our conscious mind to rest for a while. That's okay. We will survive. To not analyze what we hear and intellectually analyze what we hear and unconditionally allow the music to guide us on our journey. It's not easy though, but it is, I tell you, worthwhile. So now what can happen is that somehow a giant gate will open, a gate to the depth of ourselves, our soul, our unconscious, all these uh, places where we have no words for. Actually, there we will find the very seed of ourselves. The seed, I'm using that word metaphorically, the seed of ourselves from which we once emerged, which is still untouched by the troubles of life, the fears, the anxieties, the diseases, and is waiting for us to get in contact again, to reactivate the seed. All these negative forces are not more than disturbances, fields of disturbance that contaminate our conscious lives. But the seed remains untouched. It is as it always has been. It's like the program in a tree. The seed of a tree has a program inside. And if the tree doesn't grow really straight, or doesn't even grow at all, it's not because it's in the seed. It is because there's too much light, not enough light, too much water, too much wind, and so forth. This everyone has this seed inside, which is pure and it is healthy. If you allow yourselves to enter the music, to emotionally become part of it, it indeed can unleash enormous healing power. That's not a new insight. That's a very old insight. But you have to find music which doesn't want to impress you like a virtuoso on look what I can do on my instrument. A music with a minimum of ego, which is calm and peaceful and which gives you a warm and loving feeling. This again is not hocus pocus. I know what I'm talking about because from my very early childhood on, I was struggling in this world. I thought of it to be kind of brutal and I had my troubles. And music was very much my survival strategy. And that is maybe the reason why our music has this effect on many of our listeners, that they feel that they can go in like in a house, in a safe house, and be there and experience emotions that are normally not, that are threatened in the outside world. Well, give it a try to close your eyes, sit down, close your eyes, and allow yourself to fall into the music. It maybe needs a few times, it needs a bit of practice, but it works and it's worthwhile. All right. There's Treske. What inspires you the most to make this music? Many people, does it come from the heart, or are there other things that inspire you? Inspiration is such a big word. It's just nobody really knows how to explain it. I see it. I see that it is what I'm doing is the sum of of my experience, my emotions, my thoughts, my memories, my values. It doesn't matter whether it's music that I'm making, or whether I'm cooking, or whether I'm with my family, with my friends. It's or when I'm playing with the audience, when for the audience, it doesn't matter. It's the sum of me, what I have collected over my entire life. And once again, somebody who has never really lived has nothing to say actually. So my advice is live the life fully. Yeah. Then we have Tariq from Turkey, my friend. He talks about Aeolian Minstrel, the album. He thinks it's a unique, one-of-a-kind album. And I would like to talk a little bit about Aeolian Minstrel because it is a special album, because it's the first time that I've introduced lyrics and a human voice. And I had the great privilege to work with this wonderful singer-songwriter from America, Eliza Gilkison. She didn't only have a wonderful voice, she's also a fantastic musician on guitar, keyboard, percussion. You can just give her something and she makes music with it. And we had our interests and our values very much on a similar level, so that we worked together on these lyrics, very productive, and it was a wonderful collaboration. The band was a bit different to the bands today because it's has a more of a rock feel to it, with electric guitar, wonderful Mark Portman on guitar. It matched very much to the lyrics. We have tried to shape and create lyrics that are very open, more metaphoric, not final. It's not finished thoughts that you just consume as a listener. We thought of just giving little hints so that listeners can that it stimulates the imagination once again of the listener. And it was a wonderful experience, and a great band with Walter Kaiser, with Eberhard Hahn, and with Chris Wiesendanger. It was just a fantastic band. But I must say, at the same time, for many people, the music that I was putting out was instrumental and nothing else, just instrumental. He sometimes a little bit of voice, but without words. And as it is, if you try something after so many years and so many albums, you've tried something so radically new, you have to be aware that some people, they just prefer the instrumental music. But there were a lot of people who appreciated the songs and the lyrics, and especially Eliza's performance. So that is, sometimes you have to just do something which is out of your way and do it. And I do not regret anything. It was just an incredible experience for ourselves, for me, and I think for a lot of people in the audience too. Okay. Now, oh God, there is so much, so many comments. I can't answer all of them. hang on. Please hang on. Okay. Wow. Who is this? Oh, somebody. Yeah, we were in Katowice in 2025. We were on a wonderful tour. We played in such incredible venues. I mean, really palaces. And it was really great. An autograph I can't offer you. Hang on. Jesus. Okay. Well, I will look at this later on, because that's really a lot of from Australia, that's from South Africa. You know, in South Africa, we have such a strong. It's like a second home for this music and for us, because in the beginning of the 80s, we had this music somehow ended up in South Africa. We have never really found out why and how. but especially people in the black community, they took the song, the music, and the to like almost like an anthem for the liberation process, which they were in from the terrible regime of apartheid. And so I've heard that they were even doing protest marches with chanting this music, and so we have a very strong bond to South Africa and to these people who have finally been able to liberate themselves. And when they liberated, when it was done, and Mandela was here and everything, uh, they have they thought of it to be, that's what they told me, they thought of it as to be the anthem of liberation, of the victory. And and now last time we were in South Africa, there were lots of people, very big concert. And South Africa is going through difficult times again. And so people think it works a second round, a second time. I really hope it does, and I really hope they find a way to solve these many problems that they have at this point. Okay, yeah, there's someone from South Africa writing in. Um, any chance that we will release the album Air on vinyl? I'm not sure if we can do that. We will. I don't know if it's even has already been done. I'm not so much on top of this, as you can see, but I will ask. I will definitely ask. Um, yeah, greetings from Poland. Look, it's so incredible to know that we're connected through this music all over the planet, and the planet is not so small, and so many different cultures. And I've been asked so many times, is there a difference when we play in Spain or when we play in America or in Denmark? And I always must say that there's actually no difference when the lights go out and the music starts. It could be anywhere. Not that everything is the same. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's just so much warmth from the people and that is so similar wherever we go. And the last tour last October in Poland and Hungary and Holland, we had such a strong. It was so motivating. Um, this concerts. So I have one. Hang on, if there's even more. Yeah. There's someone from Holland who talks about the TV performance we had on Dutch television. I think it was called Sonia's Good News Show or something like that. And we we have played there for the first time on TV. And we were told that the telephone lines broke down, collapsed because people wanted to know who is that, who are these people with this strange music. And in the beginning, it really was a kind of, it was has never been heard before, that combination of harp and actually a pop rock setting. So we have benefited quite a bit from that very exotic sound that we had in the beginning. So I remember that television show. Oh, okay. Somebody asked me about the Grammy that we've got from For Down to the Moon, the album. And I must say, he asked me how that was to go there and get the Grammy. I wasn't there because we were in Australia, Japan, and Australia on tour, and I was with my wife. I was in the jungle, and then we had we once we wanted to take a shower. We were on the way with a car with a camper, and so we took a hotel room in, I don't know, Noosa Heads, and there my wife was in the shower and I was laying on the bed, and I switched on TV and I saw my face on TV when they talked about this Grammy Award, that we have received that Grammy Award. It was a really funny situation, but I have not been there, and I must say I'm a bit critical and skeptical about the Grammy, because I was actually even in that committee once, years later, and it didn't seem. I've stopped that immediately because it didn't seem to be really something real. I personally, for me, is real the people who are listening to that music and who live with that music, and who take the music and help the music to make their lives better. That's more important than the Grammy. I know for the press and for the promotion, marketing, and whatever, it's plays a certain role. But to me personally, you are more important. Let me see what other. Oh, somebody asks me, Nenati. Ooh, it's so difficult with these names. Asked me about the influence of music from the Balkans. I love that music very much, and I would say there is some. I mean, you would have to listen to all of the albums to really get that. But my goal is actually um, not the touristic aspect of music or culture. It's not that I'm just collecting sound colors from all over the world and then mix them together. That's not my intention, and not how I go about. No, to me it is I've used these sounds to trigger the imagination of the listeners, and to create as another worldly sound, something from not from this world, because I would like to let people know that there's more than this world, and that is the inside world. There is so much going on, so much, and it's such a rich world that we have inside ourselves. We underestimate this daily tremendously, and yeah, shamefully, actually. So all I'm trying to do with every note that I'm playing, to kind of lead the way to this inner world. And so I use sound colors that are not like, I hardly ever use a piano because of that. Because when you listen to a piano, you always think, you compare the pianist with another pianist, because there's so many people playing wonderfully piano. But it is kind of, it makes people to go into their analytic approach to music, and that's absolutely counterproductive in our music. We need, as I said before, we want people to really drown in the sound, and get lost completely, and go on the journey, an inner journey, and see what happens, and put the conscious mind, the intellectual mind, asleep for a while. That's okay. But that is actually the goal of this music. That's what we want to do, and therefore we take some sound colors that would, what is this, to raise question marks, and you think, what sound is this? It's not that the Balkans that I want to represent the Balkans, or the any other culture. That's not It's the sound that is is important. Okay. Oh, let me see. Somebody asks also from South Africa whether I would consider a solo live concert in South Africa. You never know. Well, I'm a grandfather though, and I'm 72. Believe it or not, I'm 72. But and I have to be a bit careful. I cannot like 4, 5, 6 months on tour. That would be not wise to yeah, I have to spend my energy wisely. So but we never know, maybe when we are in South Africa with the band, I can maybe at some point play on a very special place just all by myself. That's possible, but it's nothing planned yet. Barbara from New York, how did you train your hands and brain to play the different high and low notes? How do you separate them in order to play? Well, I've been asked this many times. My recipe is not to think, to switch off my brain, the same way as you have you're doing when you're listening to the music. What I suggest to you do. So I don't know what I'm doing, and that's good. That's really that's okay. I I know I could find out what I'm doing, the key and so forth. And if I play with other people, some things have to be arranged or some agreed on. But I just let it flow. And to me, the most beautiful moment is when it plays, when I don't know what's coming, and sometimes I'm really surprised. And when I look at stuff that I've done in early years, like the Rockpalast concert, 82, I think it was, in Germany. That was our first very big concert. Uh, and we have, when I look at myself playing, I don't know how I've done that because I wasn't even playing 3 years, almost 3 years, but not really even full 3 years playing that instrument. It has, I can say this instrument has taken me by storm. I couldn't escape from it, and it has completely invaded my life and has shown me so. I mean, has been my guide basically in every sense, also in the sense of my values and it's an. I always say it's an extension of myself. It's a perfect match. It's like an arm that grows. It's like physical extension and emotional and spiritual extension as well. So that's why I don't have technical issues. Actually, my hands are following the music, and 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 that's okay. It's fine with me. I don't have to have everything under control. I can allow the music to take over and invade me. Oh, I was wondering if you considered demonstrating your technique on the harp during these sessions. I could, because I have a very special playing technique, and I think that's the most important part of this sound, because when I all my childhood up until I was already professional musician, I played all the instruments that I could get a hold of, and I played piano especially. That was my first instrument actually. I grew up in a musician family. There was always lots of instruments, and especially the piano was very dear to me. And I was playing guitar. And now the harp, the way I play it is with the left hand, I play guitar. No, I play piano with the bass, and with the right hand, with the fingernails that I have, I play with like a guitar, close to a guitar and close to a piano, but it's close enough that ergonomically my body is okay. My body is used to work that way and support me that way. So, but I could. Many people asked me if I could once show the details of my playing a little bit, also to encourage other harp players to maybe um, have an additional or a alternative technique at hand that would allow them to um, play more rhythmically and more groove, because this technique allows me, together with the damper that dampens the strings, that allow me to play shorter notes, and to groove with Walter, my fantastic groove drummer. Um, this is something that is not really so easy with the classical technique. They learn in such a different way, and to me, it seems that so much is just not, doesn't work the same way. So I would like to also encourage harpists to maybe, yeah, establish an alternative technique for some kind of music that they're making. Yes. Uh, Let me see what else is here. Wow. Yeah, there is Maynard Ferguson aficionado. He asks me if I would say that perhaps possibly you have been divinely inspired and or guided through your musical journey and touring throughout the world to bring peace and serenity and joy. The end of the question I totally love, because that's my motivation, my main motivation. Not only to bring peace and serenity and joy to other people, I need it too. I totally need it. And so, uh, but that the thing with the divine inspiration, that is a big word, and I think modesty is not is suits as well. We what is inspiration? And once again, it is a miracle, and I keep it that way. But I know that I have been fortunate to grow up in this environment, in this creative environment, to have wonderful people accompanying me through my life. Uh, More than 50 years with my wife, which yeah, I love her dearly still after this long time, and it's been so inspiring by just the warmth of people that I've been around all these years. That that is probably also a source for of inspiration, if you want to use that word, and that has shaped my work tremendously, substantially, essentially. Okay, wow. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I think we have it for now. I'm really enjoying being here and sharing some thoughts and some uh, stories. Yes. So have a wonderful evening or morning. It depends where you are right now, whenever you're listening to this. Have a good life and spread the love. Ciao.